Have you ever wondered whether vampires are real or just figments of our imagination? These creatures of the night have long been the stuff of nightmares and the stars of spine-chilling tales. But what if I told you that there's a tale, a real-life account, that might just make you question everything you thought you knew about these nocturnal beings? So, fasten your seatbelts, my friends, as we venture into the shadows of the unknown. Today, we delve into the first recorded vampire attack in history. Welcome to Chronicles of History, where we embark on captivating journeys through the annals of time. Here we delve into the intriguing, the bizarre, and the unbelievable stories that have shaped our world. From the dawn of civilizations to the modern era, we leave no stone unturned, no tale untold. Today, we're diving headfirst into an eerie chapter of history, one that's sure to send shivers down your spine. So sit back and fasten your seatbelts as we prepare to unravel the chilling tale of Peter Plogojowitz. Peter Plogojowitz lived an ordinary life as a Serbian farmer in the 18th century. He was just like any other villager in his tiny hamlet nestled amidst the rolling hills and verdant meadows of Serbia. Peter's days were filled with labor in the fields, tending to his livestock, and enjoying the modest fruits of his hard work. Peter was known as a decent man, a friendly neighbor, and a loving husband. He was steeped in the routine of rural life, rising with the sun and retiring with its setting. His existence was unremarkable, his life largely unnoticed beyond the boundaries of his own small community. He wasn't a hero of an epic saga, nor was he a villain of a dark fable. He was, by all accounts, just an ordinary man living an ordinary life. Yet, as we'll soon discover, on the other side of life, his story took a turn into the realm of the extraordinary. But his death was the beginning of an extraordinary tale. After Peter's death, the village was struck with a series of mysterious and unsettling events. In the quiet stillness of the night, the once peaceful Serbian village was suddenly plagued with a string of bizarre occurrences. Sleep was no longer a sanctuary, for the dreams of the villagers were haunted by their late neighbor Peter Plogojowitz. The villagers began to tell tales of eerie sightings of Peter, seen wandering around the village in the dead of night, his eyes blazing with an unnatural glow. His figure, they said, was not ghostly or ethereal but solid and real, as if death itself had lost its grip on him. But the sightings were just the beginning. Soon, the village was hit with a wave of unexplained deaths. 9 villagers, all healthy and hearty, died within a week. The cause? Unknown. The victims had no signs of illness, no wounds, no apparent reason to have been taken by death so swiftly. The only connection between these deaths was a chilling one. Each of the deceased had claimed to have been visited by Peter Plogojowitz in their dreams the night before their demise. It was said that he would come to them, not as a ghost, but as a living man, and would strangle them in their sleep. As the death toll rose, so did the fear. The once bustling village was now eerily silent, its inhabitants living in constant dread of the night. The days were filled with whispers and hushed conversations, the nights with fearful glances over the shoulder and prayers for the dawn. But the most unsettling event of all was yet to come. One night, Peter's own son claimed to have been visited by his father in his dreams. He woke up the next morning pale and breathless, his life force drained away. His last words were of his father, who had come to him in his dreams, demanding his shoes so that he could prepare for a journey. The villagers were convinced Peter Plogojowitz had returned from the grave. In their desperation, the villagers called for an official investigation into the alleged vampire, and so, the stage was set for a probe like none other. Enter Imperial Provisor Frombald, the man tasked with leading this extraordinary investigation. Frombald was expected to approach this task with the same meticulousness and objectivity of any other legal inquiry. However, one can't help but wonder if he felt a slight shiver down his spine as he embarked on this eerie assignment. The first course of action was the exhumation of Peter Plogojowitz's body. Now imagine the collective gasp that must have echoed through the crowd when Peter's coffin was opened. There he lay, as if in a peaceful slumber, with not a sign of decay. It was as if death itself had overlooked him, a sight that must have been as bewildering as it was terrifying. Frombald then proceeded to examine the body. According to records, Peter's skin seemed fresh, his hair and beard had grown, and most disturbingly, fresh blood was seen around his mouth. This was not the decaying corpse they were expecting. Instead, it seemed as though Peter had just stepped out for a night on the town and popped back into his coffin for a quick nap. Now let's pause for a moment and put ourselves in Frombald's shoes. He was a man of science, of facts, yet here he was, faced with a sight that defied all conventional wisdom. Was it a test of his sanity or a glimpse into the unknown? After days of careful examination and contemplation, Frumbald had his conclusion. The document he penned following the investigation is the first official record acknowledging the existence of vampires. He wrote, "After such events, it seems, all these ghosts come to daylight again." The official report confirmed the villagers' worst fears. Peter Plogojowitz was indeed a vampire. And so, the tale of the first recorded vampire attack took a chilling turn, leaving a lasting imprint on the annals of history and the collective psyche of humanity. With the vampire confirmed, it was time to put an end to Peter Plogojowitz's reign of terror. Now you might be thinking, wait, isn't this a bit extreme? Well folks, let's remember this was the 18th century. These were desperate times, calling for desperate and arguably dramatic measures. The execution of a vampire, as it turns out, was a rather elaborate affair. The poor vampire hunter had to get up at the crack of dawn. Not because vampires are particularly bothered by early mornings, but because there was a lot of work to do. First, there was the matter of driving a stake through the vampire's heart. Now I know what you're thinking. Does it have to be a wooden stake? Can it be a stake made out of, say, plastic? Well, sorry to burst your bubble, but yes, it had to be wooden. And no, not just any wood would do. It had to be aspen or hawthorn. Talk about being picky, right? Once the stake was securely lodged in the vampire's heart, the body was to be decapitated. Now this wasn't your everyday decapitation. Oh no. The head had to be severed with a gravedigger's spade, and as if that wasn't enough, they had to turn the head around so it was facing downwards. Yes, you heard that right. Even in death, vampires apparently had a fear of heights. With the heart staking and decapitation done, you'd think they'd call it a day. But no, there was still one final act in this macabre drama. The body, now headless and stake-riddled, was to be burned to ashes. The ashes were then scattered to the four winds, ensuring that Peter Plogojowitz, the farmer-turned-vampire, would never rise again. So there you have it, folks. A day in the life of a vampire executioner. Not exactly a walk in the park, but hey, someone's gotta do it, right? And thus ended the first recorded vampire attack in history. The story of Peter Plogojowitz left a lasting impact, shaping our perception of vampires to this day. This Serbian farmer, who led an ordinary life, found posthumous fame in the most extraordinary of ways. His story weaves a chilling tapestry that has become a cornerstone in vampire folklore. The eerie events surrounding Peter's death and the subsequent happenings were so compelling that they became a catalyst for vampire hysteria across Europe. These tales, filled with mystery and terror, resonated with people, shaping their understanding of what a vampire is and how it behaves. The echoes of Peter's story can still be heard in modern pop culture, from the gothic novels of the 19th century to the blockbuster movies and TV shows of today. The legacy of Peter Plogojowitz lives on. His story has influenced countless interpretations of vampires, making them a staple of horror and fantasy genres. From an ordinary farmer to a legendary vampire, the tale of Peter Plogojowitz is one for the history books. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey through history. We've traced the footsteps of Peter Plogojowitz, an ordinary Serbian farmer whose posthumous life took a turn for the extraordinary, changing the course of vampire folklore forever. We've walked through the unsettling events that unfolded after his death, the grim investigation, and the chilling execution that still sends shivers down our spines. Plogojowitz might have been an ordinary man in life, but in death, he became a legend, a phantom that still lurks in the shadowy corners of our collective imagination. His story, as dark and daunting as it may be, reminds us of the fascinating mysteries that history holds, the tales that are waiting to be unearthed and the chronicles that are yet to be told. And there, my friends, lies the true allure of history. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join our community of history lovers. Until next time, thanks for watching.